Who, me? I was an '04 graduate, but no, I was. Yeah, I am positive. 2000, so 4.5 years for me to go through. JMU, so I graduated. Yeah. Eight is just like right a threshold for flood. Yeah, yeah. Do you want me to learn the rules and run it so you can play? I mean, it's up to you. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta get out. Yeah. Yeah, it's not that hard. It's just like, come on, like third. But he might play or he could run. He likes to run things, so he could run it. You gotta figure that out. All right, let's get to work. I've been trying to get to work for the last hour. Let's get to work. You can say.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, why not? Something you should probably like. Look, and not everyone plays equally. They all play like some people are more passive. Some people. Mm. You can say, if you want me to pay my taxes, I'm gonna need a crucifix. Oh, want me to pay my taxes. Weird shit. Hell yeah. Yeah, yeah. You want me to pay my taxes? You better have a crucifix. I'm gonna get copyright strike. Is there anything you can do that's not Spotify? Come on. I gotta get my Apple Music going. Crucifix, gonna have to wear me down. Dun, 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 dun. Doctor yourself. Doom 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 doom. Ah, fuck that. He already knows. Nobody knows where they want to win. Nobody knows where they want me. Yo, yo. To him, you can talk to me too. Tell me. Pick up player. Dumbass. Here I come. Pickups, resources, new cables. do do. Do 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 do. So try. Do 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 do. Try. Do 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 do. What the fuck did I just do? Bomb in my car. Drive. The bomb in my car. Gonna have to. And I'm driving away. There's a bomb in my car. Boom. Never, maybe, like we dance away. You dance away forever. You should be ashamed. Be shame's only daughter. Whatever you have in your hand, you can get it off you. You'll see. Hey, Rashanite, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing, man? We've got a whole set of exciting features here. Probably showed you quite a few of them, but we're about to... We put a mushroom cap on the guy. I don't know why I didn't think about this sooner. I didn't need to change the mesh because there is a modifier bone target. This will allow you to select a bone and just any bone, you can just track something to that bone. Like his hand. It's now on his hand. And then hips is the one we want because it's its main thing. So we just choose that and then scale it up and down. So just too smart. It even inherits some of the squish and stretch that we have on there. Then we have our minecart. I think you saw the minecart like in early form, but that's on a car. But don't tell anyone. Unfortunately, we did not use your cylinder because this thing is just so much. This thing has acceleration and like turning and just works really well. We're going to do a network test today as well. And there's like some interesting like emergent gameplay happening now because when I start a multiplayer instance, I've created something called the pickup component. And I worked on this pickup component quite a bit, and it's kind of doing really well with getters and setters. But this is kind of cool. So I can pick up a cart with this guy, and he's got his cart. Now, this guy can also pick up a cart, and he can drag it through the fire, whatever, no collision. But the next level is like, okay, we've got two people pulling carts, right? But this guy can ragdoll himself, and oh, he can actually. I need him to before he ragdolls. No. He needs to get in he needs to pick this up, then he needs to get in and then ragdoll. So he's still holding it, right? Okay, he's holding it. There we go. And okay, never mind. I don't need to pick up the character, but I now can pull this one with him in it, and now I've got like this train. As long as we go slow enough, it should work. So I think because it was turned around, there we go. Okay, so let's try that one more time. I did this earlier and it worked. Choo-choo! Choo-choo! So now we have this like trail of a caravan. And so it gets really interesting now because we could chain these things. We could have an action that lets you affix a pickup position to instead of a character holding it. You could have the pickup position affixed to the rear hitch. Maybe we could just clack it on there, and then those would all inherit the same multiplayer owner as well, which is like doable. We just add it to an array, right? So this guy can also become a ragdoll, and I can catch him. Give me that. And I can now throw this guy and he's still holding that. And like, this is not like super intended, but he can now. So it's just like, there's a lot of like little rules, and like when he pops up, he'll, so there's just like there's a lot going on here that's just very interesting in terms of making robust systems. Now there's no game yet because we don't have any objectives besides like to put these little crystals in here, so it plays a little sound when you do that. So we're just like mining And this all works. It's kind of hard to put stuff in here. I'm kind of figuring. I kind of you have to get pretty accurate. So I think we need a way to just kind of submit it to be consumed rather than I could just like let these things pass through the wall, but yeah, they're all in there. So now we can take this somewhere. We've got a mushroom tree. Falling apart. Know what I mean? Boom, 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 boom. So we get this really high right now. Let's just say 4. We'll use that here. They're huge. Oh, they're just coming straight at my camera every time. That's funny. So we need it should be fine. All right, that's good enough for government. I'm gonna get a coffee. Coffee. The ultimate coffee. Alrighty. There's one, I think, one thing I need to do here before we do this. I'm getting out of this gumball machine. I think we need to add 8 to this. Goes right through, right? Yeah. So that's bad. Cliff needs 8. This. It is on 8. It's 1, 8. It says 8. So what can we discern about that? By a pretty good time. Okay, so maybe there is a cliff landscape. These cliffs are static body, collision 8-8. What happened here says 8 and 2 and 1. So all the cliffs are like that? Oh. I see that these are not. So we'll just do that manually, I guess. Whatever. None of this is permanent. I should fix that little issue. Now you can't pull this uphill. Okay, perfect. What about trees? I can't go through trees. It can't go through trees. We had a hard crash there. That's good. I don't see my glowing tree at all. I think I might have removed it, and that's okay. What about you? You just get stuck here? Yeah, you should get stuck. Okay. We like all that. I'm getting killed by a pretty good time. This might be the best song on the album. Peace of mind. Keep running kind. Keep running away from what is real and what is fake. And keep. Perfect. Because now we have a crystal right next to us. That's good. And a mine tree on the way over. Okay. That's good. That's good. Yeah. Quick. You love the island of man. Stop running away. What is real and what is fake? Will you stop running away from what is real and what is fake? Oh, okay. You're ready to merge this. You stop running away from you stop running away. I'm listening to a band called Geese. and it's the song "Islands of Men." I might think is the best. I don't know if it's the best one, but you can mute me and listen to them. This is kind of scary. All right, fuck it. What I'll do is I'll put my headphones in and then I can listen to whatever the frick I want. None of the spillover will happen. You can't keep running away from what is real. I don't have a Spotify Wrapped. Was I supposed to get one? It's bullshit. When does it come out? I feel like I got a Wrapped for everything except Spotify. Fucking Discord Wrapped. YouTube Wrapped. YouTube Rewind. Players, whenever. Discord save point. That one idea from a random ass intern at Spotify. They didn't pay him a fucking dollar. Nothing. They paid him nothing for that idea. That's how contracts work. Provides, I don't know how many billions of dollars of value. I hate this map. I hate this map. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I actually just fucking detest this map right now. Except the water. The water's good. All right. Is anyone in the chat? I need assistance choosing a sword to put in the game. Send me your swords. Battle axe. What if we go hammer? It could be really fun. Oh my god, look at that baby. Quaternarius delivers once again. The most prolific model maker on the planet is going to give us this. Sword. I'm just gonna do no swords, only pole arms, great, strange weapons. Yeah, baby. Everybody wants a sword, but swords are not as cool. I really like the spear, actually. I'm getting killed. Oh, yeah. Geese goes so hard. The next one's great, too. Title track, getting killed. Is that what the next one is? No, Husbands is good, too, though. All of these, yeah. This whole set of... It's going to be my top on my Wrapped, for sure. We just love Rigid Body. I'm going to lose it if they turn off my freaking collision shapes again. I have no idea why they keep disappearing. I'm gonna Google it. Godot collision shape gizmo hidden. Running away. Okay, we're gonna use this more, so let's bring it up. I like Star Channel's favorite. There we go. It's favorite. And then I'll just throw that at the top. There we go. That's all I want. Favorites, thank God. I'm smart. Help. All right. Listen to geese on the way. Enjoy your grocery run in the snow. Oh wait, you don't have, you might not have snow. You just got a flurry. We got 3 inches here up in Nova. Enjoy. Have a nice sunny, chilly walk or drive. Uh Hell yeah. Is that gonna work like this? Where I can I have a collision shape that's like this? Let's drop this in and see what happens. Pick up component. Boop. Fuck, where are you? Give it to me. Oh, I didn't put a collision shape on the interactable body. Duh. Uh, we'll just make a tiny box. Only target it right there. Incredible. I wonder. Wait, what? Why? Try this. Hmm. So what we want to do. What do I want to do here? I'll be right back. Alrighty. Hello, Michael Antigua. Yes. Are you testing to see if Godot can make a 3D multiplayer game with no server? Simply 2 people join connected? Let me show you. You and I could theoretically connect completely instantly, no server in between us, with the system I created. So we both connect. I could even do something where I say your name here. I could say Michael. Connect, create. That's your lobby right there, Michael's lobby. And so I'll put my name and connect, and I'll join Michael's lobby. We can start this game. You're going to start the game. 2 people, peer-to-peer connection using WebRTC. So Michael's jumping. Andu is jumping. That's me. I just made this hammer. This hammer is not synced, but this mushroom should be synced. So I can give you the mushroom. You can pick up the mushroom. You can put it in the cart. You can drag this around. How about that? No server. No server needed. 2 different machines completely seamlessly using WebRTC. That's insane. Don't you need exposed IP for this? No, you do not. This is something called WebRTC, and WebRTC is a protocol that basically negotiates real-time communication for sites to capture and stream audio and video, or in our case, game data, without requiring any media. It goes on your ISP. So I think your ISP will actually negotiate this connection for us and do a peer-to-peer connection, no server, straight through the pipes. The problem is, as you can see, it's fairly complicated. You need to be able to negotiate these connections using what's called an offer candidate. And so I have a lobby system that I created from scratch, and it's on my YouTube if you're interested. I think it's great. You know, it's super secure. It's how Zoom and Google Meet and other things work, right? So like all these things do WebRTC for video and audio, but you can also use it for games. In fact, it's so cool because if I open up my network, we have in our network the ability to use a eNet multiplayer peer or a WebRTC multiplayer peer, which is the same damn thing, except on a completely new set of connections. So eNet you know about, but if you go up to multiplayer peer, there are all these other peers. There's eNet, extension, offline, WebRTC, and WebSocket. WebSocket's going to be slower. That's for like a strategy-based game. That's WebSockets are like polling for text. You can use that for a peer to sync data, but it's going to be slower because it's not real time. But WebRTC is real time and it's all here. You can create a mesh network, which is what we do. You could also create a server client, but we actually just do straight P2P mesh. That's the whole spiel. And it is complicated because I'll show you. I don't do this often, but I feel like doing it now. We can hook up our signal for debug. I've got a debug in the lobby system. The lobby system is a script here. It has a debug mode. Almost certainly sure. The fuck is a debug? Did I remove that? Lobby debug. I saw it. There. It's on the menu. Lobby quick connect. It's not on the other one. So I'll grab that one. We have a quick connect version too. Oh, it's on. No, it's not. There we go. All right, connect. All these packets are coming across. All right. So those are all just the lobby formation packets, like your name and your color and stuff. But when we start our WebRTC, I'm going to clear this. We hit start. Oh yeah, look at all that chunky data. So I don't know if it'll expose your IP, but you might it might like, it's very secure in terms of like, as long as you're, connected to people that you generally trust. I don't know that your public IP is really like people can do anything dangerous with just your IP. I think you can't really protect that. Yes, we would be visible through what's called this turn or ice connection here. In fact, if you'd like to try it, we can try it. Watch this. I have all these projects here, but I have a demo of this with a snow level. I haven't I have not tested this, but if you open this in Chrome, or I think it runs a little faster in Chrome, so I'll Chrome it up. What it's like. Yeah, cache is better on Chrome. And so if I make a lobby, that's the other lobby that we see there, so I'll close that one down. I'll pick a color. I don't think the color, I think the color is random. Oh, you don't know where I've been and go down, down, down to Maria's red. It works in web. It works in executables on Windows. It works in Mac OS. Ow, fuck, I just fucked up my finger. God damn it, I'm so fucking dumb. Why would I do this to myself? Hey, wow, I see your text there. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Now, this doesn't have all the features of the other one, but press tab to get control of your mouse if you don't have your mouse as well. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Mine eventually got there. Yeah, I see you moving. Hey. No sign-ins, no Steam. You can ragdoll with R. It doesn't have all the features, but we can like toss this mushroom back and forth too. You press E to grab it. Oh, it's a little floaty. Yes, you got it. No, he's got it. He saved it. We can play some basketball. I think I got a basketball hoop over here. Dunk it. You can try a rock. It should be, yeah. These are got bounce 100 on them. Rocks are a little heavier. Nice job, Michael. Texas. This is my game. This is how we do this. We do it seamlessly in the browser. Free technology. Used by... Bro. You can have all this in Godot. It's on my YouTube. It's on my on my GitHub. Okay, but how would I work off browser? Because I feel like we're connecting through some web client on the browser. Well, let me show you. If you look at my stream, I have all this shit. I go over here. Do you see my... I have a folder in my dist. This is a distribution folder, but I have a Windows client zipped up, a Mac client, and I have an executable here. So maybe if we do this, maybe, I don't know. It's actually harder to see, but you can see we've got a DMG and a Windows executable, right? The executable is exactly what you think. Just grab this, open this, goes full screen, and then there's our lobby right there. I can just create a new lobby. Just starts that quick. And you can see the online users, same guys, are already connected. It's completely portable to all platforms. You could play on, you could get it on iOS, you could do mobile, you can do web. It is simply, yeah, powerful, huh? You just got to press tab to get back your focus if you ever want to play again. Whee! I was thinking I can make a basketball game, I can make a volleyball game, I can make physics-based games in real time. I can do anything. I've been doing this for about 2 years. Not this project. This project is about three months old. Nope. I built it all. It took about 3 months, 3 to 6 months but I've been doing Godot for 2 years, and I love Godot, and I was tired of paying for servers, so I figured all this out. And I paid $5 for my dedicated server approach. That's on my website. $5 per month is more than zero. This costs zero. It's on Cloudflare. Cloudflare negotiates our turn signals, so you do need a little bit of a, some free infrastructure, but no big deal. You don't pay for anything because it's like a Lambda function. If you know how Lambdas work, it's ephemeral in memory. And once we make this connection, P2P, it just lasts until the session's done, and we disconnect and it cleans up. You could have multiple of these going too. Like you could open another tab with another player and create a new P2P. I also have drop in, drop out multiplayer, so if another player could just drop in anytime. No one's the host. We are in a mesh configuration. There's literally no server, no host. We have complete authority over our player bodies in this formation. So what that does do is opens up a little bit of cheating, but obviously if you're going to cheat in my stupid little web game, then, go ahead. So I think you'd have to have motivation to cheat. So basically, if you're making Valorant or like Counter-Strike, pick a different engine, right? And pay $100,000 for servers, because that's just not going to work. You're not going to prevent cheaters in a competitive setting. So I don't make that kind of game. I'm a fucking one guy making a silly goofy. Yeah, this is not for that. Yeah, so as long as you don't have leaderboards and like ranked matchmaking, like no one's gonna cheat. Kobe! Yeah, what's up, Nemo? We're just showing off our P2P serverless peer setup. We've got Michael in the game. Michael is with us. He's moving around. Look at us. I can ragdoll with R. And he's a ragdoll. Bash him around with him. Oh, he jumped in the air. There's a small jump bug there, so don't worry about that bug. But this is the simple web view one. Ow. Send the link. I cannot guarantee that it'll work. Let me test it before I send the link, okay? So I'm going to now do what's called drop-in multiplayer. So I will drop into our lobby and just see if it works, because if it doesn't, I'm not going to send you the link. I think it's not going to work. Let's go over here. Let's go see if that other player joins over here. Yeah, he's having trouble. Oh my God, he appeared. All right, so let me tab over here. See if I can get this guy moving. I'm in the fucking background walking like 3-pointer and rock ball. Yeah, I think he's trying to connect. The problem is that I think I've got a little bit of a processing issue here. See how he's like not coming in. I mean, you can try it. We can start a new lobby too. Let me just, yeah, let's start a new lobby. So I will close that guy out. I'll refresh this page, and then we're going to make a new lobby, all right? So go ahead and refresh your page. pick that link up and do host. So just let me do the thing. Join and do host lobby, not Mike. Yeah, Mike can leave his. Then we'll see if we can get 3 people. It's fastest in Chrome. It takes about, I don't know, 20 seconds to load in Chrome. It's like, I think it's 50 megabytes. And as far as like YouTube and shit, it's like, yeah, it's pretty fast. You get in. So there we go. We have 3 players. I'm going to start 3, 2, 1. So give it a little bit of time to boot up the frames and get the assets loaded. And then when you're ready, you can press tab to get the mouse focus. Sometimes you need to hit tab to get that mouse focus when it's ready. But we need to make this a little bit more seamless. This is what the fuck, Todd? Whatever, Todd, man. I don't know if you're going to load, but we'll try it. Let's see if it works. Come on, work. It worked a minute ago. I haven't worked on this particular prototype in a bit, but yeah, it's not working. I'm disappointed. Anyone work? Anyone in there? I can't get this menu. Is that part of the problem? Is this menu like in the way? Am I actually in there and I can't see it and like it's not disappearing? Oh shit, I just quit. I think I'm dumb. Maybe we can switch prototypes. I think this one might be more. It's less features, but this one is slightly more resilient, maybe. Let's see if I can get that up. This was the other idea I had, to put the experience on top of my Twitch chat. It's all other peers, yeah. I don't know. Did you guys make it in there? Because mine didn't load. It's just Chrome. I don't know. I see Nemo. There could be some connection issues, right? Like, you know, there's one issue with like older connections. You can run into a situation where players are behind like a 3G network, or older networks or mobile networks aren't gonna be great. Yeah, I think we still got some bugs to work out. Okay, we'll figure it out later. We'll see if it works one day. We'll get there. But anyway, it did work earlier. We're not really sure. Oh, wait, I can open maybe I've got debug information in here. Let's see. Peer disconnect, binding, server added. It looks good. But given head player, I don't know. I don't actually know. The problem with live demos is they're live and they're just, yeah, I think I've got a bug here where this menu isn't going away. I shouldn't be able to see it. All right. We'll get back to it. We're going to get back to the actual game. All right, so what happened to moving object not enrolled by anyone, like an enemy who's updating info to everyone else? Great question, Michael. In a mesh peer-to-peer setup, everything must be owned by someone. So I know, no rock ball. I'll get rock ball working again, but let me show you what I've got right now. I have I have a pretty cool prototype as well, but it's through the same system and it works. We'll fix the other bugs because of, just how everything is. You can't join this lobby because this lobby has different assets. But this lobby, yeah, so everyone must have, everything in the game must have an owner. The players own everything. So basically, I assign whoever interacts with something first is the one who gets to own it. That's essentially how it goes. So um, we have rocks. So the cool thing is I've made these carts, and you can pull the cart around, and like this is an item that's pullable. Bye bye, hammer. And then we have like these mining nodes, and then we have these players, and a player can get in a cart, and then this player can pull that player somewhere else. And now here's the crazy part is that I made this like emergent gameplay type thing where one of these players can go get a cart with that, and then they can pull it over here, and they can jump into the cart. And now this player can now pull this cart, and both will come with us in like this crazy train. And it's called emergent gameplay, guys. Okay, emergent gameplay. So these are all physics bodies working over network, and they work like rock ball, right? And so now I've got this, and I can put it in here. Boop boop. So, oh god, he's bugging out. No, he's fine. I got some camera work to do. Looks like. But yeah, he's so I'll put this here, put the brakes on. We can go get some more crystals. But yeah, this is kind of where we're making a friend slop game, right? Called Friend Gym. And this is the main task, is to get this to work. All right, let's get through the river. Come here. I'm gonna make like, games like Peak or Repo. Here's another fun feature is I've got a way to ragdoll, and so this guy is ragdolling around, so I can't pick this up, but I can pick him up, and I can actually fucking toss his ass just like a rock, and he's gonna bounce because I added bounce to him. See ya. Oh, here's a rock. And then everybody can just ragdoll around. If they want to ragdoll around, you can just... So the enemies are gonna ragdoll you, and oh god, I think he just got launched. Holy shit. I just hit him with a rock. I did make a feature so that if someone's grabbing you and you press unragdoll, he just drops you. So that you can at least like kind of get out. But we can limit that. Put this rock in there. Grab my little thing, and then, we've all got these little things, and like I can't grab something else that he's grabbing, so I should update that label to like in use. Yeah, that's the whole game. We forgot about green player. Time for hammer. So before you guys got here, I was making a hammer. And so we're going to restrict the movement of the hammer so that you can move it around, but then when you're ready to swing it, it'll lock in a certain direction, and then, hey guys, you guys like my hammer? Do you like my hammer? Well, guess what? I didn't add a multiplayer synchronizer to this hammer, so it's only my hammer. It doesn't even exist in your world. All right, close it down. And what's cool is so you can close down, and like there's no errors. Like he's gone. So yeah, this is what we do every day. I should update the rock ball demo, but today I'm trying to have a network test for this version, so it's gonna, you know, it's gonna be something. Is it easy to build on top of this framework like for the hammer? How do you sync it easily among players? Great question. You ready? Okay, so we're in the hammer scene already. We go in Godot. We have our multiplayer synchronizer, which is a node that will sync hammer position, hammer rotation. So pick hammer rotation, not lock rotation. I want actual rotation. And now replicate is always, I don't know if you can see that because of my head, but always replicate those two properties. It's very, very cheap to sync position and rotation, just vectors. And we could do some, yeah. Here's another thing is we can unlock the accesses, so we can kind of just throw this thing around. But now when we connect, and I'll just connect two guys, hammer is now syncing. It's that easy. We just have to program it so that when you like aim in, you know, it goes down, and then when you hit something, I can like toss the hammer because I've created that pickup component that lets anything that I want get picked up. I just have to extend the pickup component to add some forces to, you know, obviously. Also, it's interesting because he's got his signals are a little backwards there. Doesn't multiplayer synchronize go from the owner to all other peers? So that means when someone grabs something, they become the host there for the child nodes. Correct. So multiplayer synchronizer goes from the owner to all other peers. And so in my case of a player, I have a multiplayer synchronizer. I'm sending all my updates to all the peers in the network. If you had a server, you could send it to the server, and then the server would send it back down to the players, that sort of thing. You can do sync a lot of different ways. But for the hammer, you can assign someone the owner using set multiplayer authority. So multiplayer synchronizer has a bunch of different options, but one thing is when you do set multiplayer authority, and I do that here, if no one has it, I give it to the lobby host so that somebody can track it. And then anyone who picks it up is going to call this set owner peer. This is a setter. And we just say set multiplayer authority. And I believe set multiplayer authority accepts one more value. True. Recursive. So you can see in the hint here, if I get out of the way, I don't know if I'm in the way, but you can see it says recursive true. So that would hit every child in the peer. And that doesn't matter because of this flat hierarchy for the hammer, but something like the cart actually does do this. It says update minecart authority, set multiplayer authority, new peer true, because this has all sorts of fucking things that need to be synced. Pull, hitch, rope, minecart, vehicle. So all these things are kind of comprised of one thing. So I do a recursive over that to get all those tracked, because I think minecart has its own sync. Oh, it doesn't, but none of the, I don't think any of the cart, the pull and the hitch don't, but either way, true helps here for that. And then you'd be surprised how little there is in this synchronizer actually for this cart. It's actually not too crazy. It's the hitch and the pull linear velocities. These are rigid bodies that are required to create a rope between, and then the rope is just client side. And then we have the minecart vehicle, rotation, position linear, and then angular. These just kind of smooth that out a little more. And, the floats you could optimize later. But, yeah. And then underneath the cart is a little secret. So if we disable our minecart, you can see I've got like a little thing for a player that they sit on top of. But this, what's that? Oh, it's a car. It's literally a car. So how do physics body interact across the network? What are the physics calculations being done when the hammer hits another player when you're holding it? Yeah, that can vary greatly as well. But for me, I only run physics on the owner because I've kind of just arrived at this pattern where if I am not the owner, I turn it off. So if we go to our player character script, basically, I am a player, I own myself, and then I say, if not multiplayer authority, I do this a lot. I say set physics process false, set process false, set input process false, state machine set process, physics process false. That means I own everything that's going into this multiplayer synchronizer. And if I am not that owner, if I am on another client, but my body is there, I want to send updates to it, and nobody else should be running any physics. So this basically turns off physics for all extra clients, all the remote peers. So no one synchronized per activator, you're saying is pretty cheap. So you're going to have scene with hundreds or thousands of them. There's no concern. I think when you get to thousands, there will be concern. But modern browsers are going to be really... I mean, modern connections, your ISP connection is going to be, I'm taking like way less than your average, the fuck is going on? Oh, that's just somebody in there. I'm taking way less than your average thing. I'm taking about 15 kilobytes per connected peer. So if I open up the debugger and we go network profiler, and I might have to get out of the way. I don't know where am I? Oh yeah, you can see me. This right here, it says we are getting on these sessions. You know what we should do? We should test with a dedicated server so we can see the true peers. So crazy thing. I have a dedicated server built into this as well because I'm a nutcase. So I conditionalize all of the network calls, and so if we're on a joinable dedicated server, I can have a completely different network setup here that's going to be server host, and the reason we do that is because I'm nuts. And now we skipped the lobby, and you can see in the top left there's like this like Smash Brothers type camera that will track these players wherever they go. This is just kind of a bonus to have as like a server that tracks these. So now the server owns all of the things that aren't players. It owns ID1, and all these synchronizers are ID1. And now let's take a look at our network profiler. So if I hit start here, all right, we've got too many fucking rocks, but we are doing down 22 and uploading. We're uploading a lot. This is the server sending 990 kilobytes. You know, this is going to be way less than like your average game. I had to do a little more math, but in this case, we were doing 90 down. That's 2 peers, so it's about 40 kilobytes down for each one. That's 50, so 100. And then I'm only sending 11 kilobits per second, whatever this KIBs, up to the server because I'm only telling the server about me. I don't own anything else, but I'm receiving more information down about all these stupid fucking rocks. And so we could theoretically do something where we go to the map. We just rip out all these rocks, and we could spawn a lot of rocks before we hit like I wonder, if we open up our network tab on like a YouTube video, I bet it would blow this sort of thing out of the water. But now look at that, we're down to just a few kilobytes down, and up stayed the same on this client peer, but we're 15 there, so 30. So it's about the server and client, it's more accurate numbers when we do it that way. So if the carts, yeah, it is nuts. It's kind of stupid that my framework has dedicated server too. I have quick join. I have lobby codes too, so you can quick join your friends too. You could also take the mesh and do a client on top of the mesh, client server on top of the mesh for a dedicated server like P2P. And I'm gonna add Steam, so you can do Steam too. But I don't know. If the cart's owner simulate all the physics objects of the cart, how does it simulate physics for the other peers interacting with it? Do all peers just send their inputs to the other? So let's say the simplest example is going to be in the dedicated server approach, where the peer doesn't change. The peer that owns the carts right now and forever is number one. One is the server, and he is going to have these synchronizers, and you can even see in the list here a list of mine carts. You see these mine carts here? They're sending information, and they have synchronizers on minecart that is from the server, from the owner, from peer ID 1. And all these guys, the peers need to know about is position, rotation, linear velocity. Their physics for this is off. Like they can touch it, they can bounce it, they know where it is. So they're not on this guy's machine down here. He's not running physics. He's just receiving information from the server. He has zero physics running. Like the only physics he runs are actually his bouncing when he's physicking. When his physics run, he's running that. That's the only physics, his bones. Everybody else, including the server, is getting updates about his physics from him because he's the authority of him. So if we go from the top left corner, 1, 2, 3, he's 3. So he's only talking about things that 3 owns. He's only physicking that. But these physics that pop out of this, 1 is sending the physics that it's running. So the server is going to be running quite a bit of physics. And you're going to need to do more CPU if you have a dedicated server. But the clients are actually going to be able to run their frames and their shit faster because there's no physics running on this number 3. He doesn't run a single fucking physics for that. And you can see like there's just a little bit of jitter when the positions aren't like perfect for these crystals. Like if I throw one up in the air, maybe we can see like, yeah, it just hitched just ever so slightly there. That's networks because the network is only running at 30 bits, 30 hertz per second. The physics run at 60 hertz. So we are only sending updates across the network at half the rate that we're actually running physics on the server. Now you say, okay, well now my server is going kind of nutty. It's got so much to do. Well, let me tell you about this. We've got in the export tab, you have the ability to do a server. So if you duplicate one of these and you call it server, you can do a Windows or you do a Linux server, but you take this export mode and you say export as dedicated server, and it strips all the visuals, and you run in -- headless on the features. You go feature -- headless, and then you put it in there, and now your server does nothing but network and physics. And you can read about that here if you are wanting to pay $5 a month. And you can run this on a very small T4 Nano is what I ran something like this on. So, and I'm talking about like the 25 KBs, like right around there. Bandwidth is not going to be an issue. I think you could, yeah. Let's just do a little experiment here. Let's watch YouTube. Let's see how much network a YouTube video takes, right? So if I hit, let's do one of my videos maybe. So, oh, this is a replay, sure. Network, record. How do I do that? Oh, I'm only on media tab. Yeah, that could help to. I'd have to get Wireshark, I think, to really get accurate here. But the total size of this thing is kind of interesting. Yeah, nice job, you block. That's pretty good. All right, so here's some good numbers. You can see 750 kilobytes per second. What is kilobytes per second? DSL. Oh, so your average 4G, like that's a pretty bad case. It's 4G, 4 megabytes per second, up and down. Okay, so that's not like something we want as our limit, but KIBs versus kilobytes per second. I don't know. You guys can do some math. Yeah, let's go listen to like some good Zelda music while I'm working. This stupid thing I listened to. It's really soft. Kips. Different units for speed. Okay. They're pretty similar though. Yeah, so I mean, here, hell, let's do Cloudflare speed test, right? See how many whatevers I need. Okay, we don't want to show my whatever, but y'all aren't gonna dox me. So we have 592 megabytes per second. Theoretically, my game to KIBS. So when we start reaching so if we do 5, so the amount of kilobytes I'm taking is about 100, right? So let's take this number and just divide this by 100, right? We have 5,000 of these we can run before we, 5,700 instances we could theoretically service at the same time. All right, that's how fast we could do it, as far as I know. So each client does its own physics for the characters. I expect there might be some issue with that, but it makes sense of the cart. As long as you sync the right things. As long as you... And now, I always sucked and I was syncing the wrong things because there are a number of, let's say, in this... there's a number of things here I've synced, and these are the best ones. Just anything that has position, linear, velocity, and these are locked rotation, so I don't send any rotation about those. But the minecart has a little more, and these just help a little bit. And the most interesting one is actually the player. The player machine, he has to sync more, and I'm okay with syncing more because it's important. It's the most important object. And the things that he tracks are position, the rotation, and then when he's a corpse or a ragdoll, we want to linear, position, rotation, angular, because he's spinning, he's moving. And then I also track velocity because I add the player's velocity to anything that we're holding so that it kind of sticks out in front while we walk across the screen. So that way it doesn't like bump into your face when you're when you start moving with a rock really fast. Like I ran into some issues where players would interact, they would bump into the rock they were holding, so I add the player velocity to the thing that they're holding. That just keeps it like just in front of their nose a little bit, and we can kind of adjust that offset a little bit too. So we'll add You see how he keeps it out in front of him. Before it was kind of like knocking into his face, and I had to have more margin. All right, let's get this cart back because that's embarrassing. Boop. Boop. Some people have crazy router speeds too, so it's hypothetically a lot higher too. Yeah, limiting factor, slowest router on the mesh. Yeah, and like you can do a lot of work to account for like really low end networks, but we're not living in an age of like DSL and dial up anymore, right? And the cool thing about doing it in a mesh network is that because each peer is sending in objects about the things that they own, one, since the thing that they're holding they own, it's going to be accurate for them. All the other players are kind of observers to that interaction, so that's fine. Two, if a player starts lagging, the only person that really suffers is that player, but they won't even notice because they own everything they interact with. And let's say you have one player that's laggy and 3 others that are fast. The 3 others are not impacted at all. Unless for some reason they need to like grab onto the laggy player and he's not exactly where they want him to be. That update that's late from the lagging player only affects the lagging player. So they, if he's in another area of the map or whatever, he's lagging out on his own. The other 3 players have a seamless experience by themselves. So basically, if I grab a card, I'm telling player 1, telling player 2 where the card is. Player 2 is telling player 1. If the player 2 jumps into P1, yeah. So this scenario gets a little messy where you have a player that's in a cart and it's observable that there's going to be some jitter. And what we could do is we could implement some sort of like prediction of this player should move with this cart. But I will tell you that when you have 2 different authorities, you're going to have a little bit of desync in terms because the speed at which we update is across the network is slower. I could lock the physics to be slower. That wouldn't be a nice experience, but let's do that example here. He's using the P1 cart data from P1. Yeah, basically you could do better to basically lock the player that gets in the cart onto a onto the. You don't want to grab the authority. You don't want to tell one player where he is. Even if he's in your cart, you shouldn't really own him. So this is me. I'm jumping in here. And then now this player is going to pull this cart. And now he's telling the cart where it is. And the red player is getting the updates about the cart a little late. So he's naturally just going to, like, every once in a while, he's going to be in the air, or he's just not going to see where the cart is. And so you can see the jitter is kind of spread across 2 different things. It's not really that bad for gameplay, yeah. You have latency. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So my solution to this jittering cart problem is this. So if I get into a cart, this is a physics cart. But we have an option where we can do an interaction to get into the cart. We could just like say sit. And when we sit, there'd just be a seat here, and that way we will lock your physics and you are now along for the ride, and that'll be a lot smoother. And maybe that's for like a different type of vehicle that we build that has more seats, right? So you could just hitch a ride that way. And at that point we say, your position is now my position, which is fine. Having the host lag in other games feels horrible because when you're interacting with other players, latency stacks. Yeah. So there's solutions for a laggy host as well, but it's just like that's going to be tough. I started all this with NetFox. NetFox is a GitHub app. It's a Godot add-on that lets you do interpolation, lag compensation, server-side reconciliation, and it's all very, very good. And I'm part of this community, but the tutorials and the concepts, it's tough. I learned all this predicting input. And so this will run a client-side simulation, send updates to the server, and the server confirms them. That is a server authoritative model that FPS people will use. So, you know. Yo, can you tell me Rebecca ignores a bool sending the state from the server to clients that has not changed? Right. That is true. I think there is default change connection Mira, but I don't know for sure. You have to read into the synchronizer under the hood. I know that if you have a synchronizer and you are giving it always, this for a bool, you might want to do on change. Just note that for rollback synchronizer, I have no clue. But yes, I think there might be a setting for that. You'll have to ask in the NetFox Discord and stuff, because I'm not NetFox expert. I've kind of moved away from NetFox. I'm more peer-to-peer. So player 2 is taking vectors of the cart and uploading its own vectors and then sending them back. Yes, that's right. Yeah, it's updating its own vectors and syncing them through the multiplayer synchronizer. Yes. Note that when you do on change here, this becomes a TCP type confirmation style. So it needs to confirm with the other peers that this value has changed, and it's not just, it's reliable. It turns it into a reliable rather than unreliable check. Always is unreliable, meaning it's just going to keep sending those UDP packets as fast as it can, and it's not checking that that's successful. It's just like, here's a bunch of values, here's a bunch of values. But when you do this on change, it needs to know if that on change has, so it's really bad for position. On change is awful for position. Do not do that. That doubles your network here, because it's confirming, oh, did you get that? Oh, did you get that? Okay, did you get that? Has it changed? You know, it'll keep doing a TCP type handshake. But always is like, okay, I'm just going to blast you with position. So Booleans, things you need to be reliable, true, false, maybe you do want on change. But to answer Mira's question about rollback synchronizer, you'll have to dig into that one a little more. I think there is a bunch of options on the side for that. I do know you should turn off input broadcasting, especially in a dedicated server approach. And if you do want to know about dedicated servers, we were going over that earlier. I have a article about hosting on AWS EC2. I've done NetFox on this. Just kind of helps if you might already know how to do all this. But yeah, so I'm gonna have a sit mechanism, I think, so that whoever's riding in the cart can be a little smoother. But if they are standing on top of a moving object, you know, they're gonna accept some level of like, oh, this thing isn't perfectly syncing. Now we can do a little experiment here where we slow down the physics ticks to, and I've done this before and it was mixed results. But since network goes over 30 hertz per second, I believe that is a consistent thing. We can change our physics, FPS, and we can lock everything, right? We can go common. Yeah, here we are. Physics ticks per second. How often we are doing that? So, dude, I still don't understand how the hell this works across multiple devices. I have to look into WebRTC and mesh networking. Yeah, I mean, it's a little magic, right? The full explainer is in the full WebRTC P2P setup here. So this is the my YouTube videos will link to a first-person shooter that I made in mesh networked. The YouTube videos kind of go over it a little bit, but this is the WebRTC side. So it is true direct P2P. It's not easy to get clients ready to connect. So once they make this connection from device to device, it's full P2P. But before that, we need to do a couple of steps. First, browser and phone need to communicate in a lobby. They need to join the singling server and say, hey, connect to me. And they need to then exchange all those freaking packets we saw like this. And they say, I'm here, you're here, let's do that. And then once they've done that, they have established a pipeline, a link of a media stream that you see here. These stun and turn servers, turn helps do some relay if your network is really bad or not as good. But I only have stun enabled, so sometimes people can't connect because I don't have a relay server set up. But anyway, yeah, that's a bunch of pieces. You think most devs trying to get into this genre, a friend slap should try to go for WebRTC. There's so much more difficulty if you have a relay server. Let's try to answer that question because I think we could try to figure that out as kind of a group. And we're in the process here of making a friend slap game. And we are doing network tests, and it's not perfect. It doesn't work in all cases. It's best for real-time, high availability, good bandwidth, solid stuff. Now, my number one suggestion would probably be Steam Godot, right? Steam Godot client. This Godot Steam is also P2P, but it is basically relay from. They've been moved to Codeberg. Okay, we'll get there. This is kind of where we're at. Ratchet Knight, you didn't miss anything on it besides nerding out over all the different networking setups. And I'm talking about Steam now because I have heard that this is really not too bad to set up, and you don't have to pay $100 if you use the test app. The test app is not always perfect though, so I might be able to commit $100 just to get Godot Steam. But the whole reason I built all this is so that I didn't have to pay $100 to Steam. And you get a little more. You get more of a headache in some ways and less of a headache in others. So, should devs trying to make a friend slap go for WebRTC? The question is, can I do it? And I'm probably the person who knows the most about this. Can I do it is the question. I'm pretty confident I can, and I can get it hosted on itch.io even, or as a downloadable, and it'll work because this has worked several times. And it did have some issues. I have another lobby system that I'm working on too that should be a little more reliable, but we have some thinking, some cooking. Yeah, we've got a bunch of these. We have like a whole thing with yeah, just trade-offs for game jams, $100 for Steam's. Yeah, I actually built this because I got into game jams more. So you can see on my page, like I started doing more game jams. So I was like, oh, I really want to do like a multiplayer way to do game jams. But I've done a lot of multiplayer stuff. And, this is compatible with game jams because you're just like, hey, everyone at the jam can play. So if you've done all the work for knowledge, might as well use it. Yeah, you're gonna there's a couple other ones. There's one called Tube Godot, I think, that does this too. It's in the asset store. It might be more reliable too. So they've got, this one is a good one. I should try this out. Yeah, this should do WebRTC, peer connected to client peer. It's very nice. They've done a good job. Have they made the extended appear here? That could be true. But yeah, this could work too. I'll be right back. Yeah, I like this one. I got to do a video or try this out. Hmm. This is a great use case and limitation. These guys are pros. I'm very like new to like open source, and we kind of. It looks like we yeah, they did this 2 months ago. I made mine like 3-4 months ago. Like, I think everyone's kind of arriving at this being a great system, kind of independently, and I'm definitely on the side of it's possible to use. It's not perfect, but tube context. This seems kind of strange. I wonder if they're doing something interesting with this open web torrent. I mean, you have to have a signaling server and is this the same people? No. Years ago. This is an interesting. Like, this part, I don't understand, but I understand this because I use the Cloudflare one. Mm-hmm. So they don't do a mesh networking. They do session created, session joined. Theirs is simpler than mine. You might want to do theirs if you do want to get this stuff working. This is theirs is probably better. I should probably put a GitHub thing to direct people here. Oh, here's a nice how it works section. Damn. All right. This is all establishing web to peer-to-peer, signaling service, done servers, turn servers. Yeah, this is all great. Everyone go learn from them. Dude, when you're shutting off the stream and how could I follow you besides subbing on YouTube? I'm on Twitch, I'm on Twitter. Gotta go. Yeah, it's super interesting. I recommend you know, find all my socials, my .com. You just kind of dig in a little. Yeah, they're there. Follow. I'm on YouTube streaming regularly. Check out interested in WebRTC. Tube has done a great job. Check them out for a simple setup. Good luck. For Godot. Yeah, I don't need to say that. Everyone knows I do Godot. I guess, you know, what's even crazy is you could do this, you know, for any web asset. You don't necessarily have to do GD script with it. But for me, I like GD. I like Godot. I like the physics. I like the 3D. It's often best to make projects that are a lot simpler. Like, you know, I've made really, really basic stuff like this multi-world demo where players just kind of, yeah, this is so much smaller. So I have like this one this is one that mounts 2 different node trees in the same Godot scene across multiplayer. This one is kind of weird. It's fun. But yeah, this is kind of how I figure all this out, is like these basic like little guys jumping around. This is also on YouTube. And then I can swap over to the forest. I don't know if anyone, so we can swap over to the forest. You can see the piers move over there. You just got to figure out these piers are named after their network number. But this all works in the web when you get it all going. What are we gonna do next? We were gonna work on the hammer. Should we work on the hammer? This hammer sounds fun. Okay, we gotta arm our mushroom guys. A lot of games, you know, we're like, oh, I don't want to do combat. Combat's overdone. It's like, combat is a core mechanic for a reason. It's a core part of life. You must defend. You must fight. You must struggle. Challenge. It's a very appealing, like, thing. And, like, in game design terms, people say, like, oh, we're going to do a completely non-combat game. Hard to do. It's going against the grain. And then they'll end up just reinventing combat, but giving it a fresh coat of paint. And it just doesn't work. It's just like, okay, well, this is just combat with extra steps. Let's do the offline version. Okay, so now this is tracking this way, but it's kind of awkward because it's not doing Y rotation. It's locked. What is doing Y rotation? If I lock Y as well, what happens? Oh, I have locked Y. Okay, there we go. So now, spinning that way. So now it should just, yeah, it should remain that way. So thank you for everything, man. You're going to do good, big things, like to watch you work in the future if you're interested in working with people. Thanks. Yeah, no, I'm just a hobbyist, so I'm not like trying to be peak. I'm not trying to be repo, but everyone loves games with friends, right? So I'm helping people make games with friends. I wonder if I can put this hammer in the cart. And it just chunked right in there. I've made things composable enough that you can deposit a hammer in the cart, because you can deposit these and they go in there. But it's intentional to put the mushrooms in there, but now you can never get your hammer out, so I gotta turn that off. It's good the code works. Thank you, though. Thank you, Michael. Have a good day. I'll be around. We're just having fun here. Alright, got my hammer back. So, I've got to puzzle out how to apply some forces so that the orientation of the hammer needs to be my orientation. So it needs to come with me. It's spinning like this because it's locked. I'm spinning and I'm not applying the spin. I could do a bone tracker. So I could, whenever my hand moves, I could have the hammer move like It's just a tough puzzle. Because I also want to be able to swing it. And to swing it, I was thinking to use physics. So what if whenever the velocity exceeds a length of a certain amount, whenever it starts to, the velocity exceeds a certain amount, we tip it forward. Okay, so I say, on this axis, I want to tip it forward. So I apply a force at an angular force at the top that goes in my facing direction. I need the tip to be higher. Sorry, folks, this is a brain burner. I'm sure Ratchet Knight is like being able to imagine this working immediately. But basically, tune in next time. Have a great one. Yes, thank you. Appreciate you. Very nice. I hope I got your questions. Thanks for asking so many questions. It was fun to just kind of teach a little bit. Helps me learn too, because I'm still learning, of course. We all are. So if I want to tip the hammer straight ahead, I would apply a force, an angular force to the top. Like I want to apply this force up here at this. That would tell the hammer to become down. Whenever I speed up the hammer, it should almost like a centrifugal, or yeah. There's two ways of saying centrifuge. Centrifugal. Ah, yes, Ratchet Knight's just like you are. Centripetal. I want tripetal. I want centripetal. Let me show you. Ratchet Knight's gonna be. I was saying that you would be able to figure this out immediately. All right, so we have this hammer. Now, my goal is that whenever I turn, I swing the hammer. Its linear velocity is increasing in space. Like the linear velocity is increasing. That is linear, left to right, right? So it's going from position 1. So I can measure the magnitude of that. The velocity there is going to be like above 5 or above 10. And then I want to apply a force to the hammer that will tell it to level out. Basically, force it to become like horizontal, so that it will lay down like that. Okay, and now, you know, so I want the force to apply it to go sideways. And so I'm thinking about my forward position, and I'm looking this way. Wherever I'm looking, oh, it's starting to do it a little bit, but I want to make sure it does it right. I'm in a game right now, but it's def possible. Yeah, I know. So you don't worry about me, because the more I struggle, the more I learn, right? So I just swing that outwards. I definitely just swing that shit outwards. I can apply a linear force outwards. Would that work? Yeah, linear force might work. I don't need anything angular. Oh, I have this constant forces thing, right? So if I apply it upwards, force up. There we go. Okay, let's go 100. Ah! Whenever I grab it, it went Y. It went. So I need to just apply this force forward. So my facing direction is all I need to do. That sounds good. Okay. I think I got it. Ratchet Knight's going to be so proud of me when I figure it out without them. Yeah, I do. I could use a spring. That's an interesting idea too. Wow. I don't like springs though because I'm dumb. But a spring could automate it a little bit. That could be fun. Okay. Let's do this. We can get the facing direction. We do that all the time. This is a forward direction. Right? Forward-der. And then I'll probably have to make that harder. Fuck is my hammer? Oh, I have a constant force of 5,000 on it, so it's just going straight up into the sky. Yeah, we don't want that. Hammer. Ow. Oh, I need like a dot product or a cross, like a... Oh no, I definitely do not want your help here. I want to struggle a little anyway. And giving you such a tough problem is just, well, a tough problem for me. That would be... I'm gonna get this. This is not your deal. Your deal is the game right now. Go game. I've been drawing it out. Okay. So basically my forward vector is from here this way. So we're looking from above. So I need to basically press this thing forward. It doesn't quite work. I almost need like a... When this thing... I need it to tip forward. So linear force... There's some torque on it. That's pretty cool. Okay. Let's see if I can figure this out. So it's on the ground. I can get it in that formation. So if I... I'm having a ton of fun. It's just gonna spin. What about Z? We haven't tried Z, have we? I wish I could apply force to a certain part of the hammer. Oh, man. Did it do it? Did do what? Did do what? Mr. Studio, what are you asking? Did it make the game? Let's find out. You be the judge. You ready? Okay. Let's run 3 games at the same time. We're going to create a lobby, connect, join the lobby, connect, join the lobby, launch the game. Here we go. We're going to load some WebRTC. We're going to make a peer-to-peer connection. Ignore the hammer. I'm still working on the hammer, okay? He's just kind of wacky. But now I can get a cart, and I can pick that cart up. Come on, guys. Let's go for a ride. You ready? All right. Let's get in. And, let's go. Whee! Oh, we better stop for a second. Hold on. I should go pick up another cart. I'm gonna get in this cart. And then, we'll go over here. Pick this guy up. Now we've got a cart train. Whee! So this guy's gonna... Oh, he dropped his cart. His distance became too great for the spring. Okay, alrighty. I can also... Let's get this crystal mine. Let's put that in the cart. Throw that cart. Oh, did I hail it? Oh, shit. Oh, well. Let's go. Going to the Mushroom Kingdom, Mushroom Kingdom, Mushroom Kingdom, going to the Mushroom Kingdom, going to the Mushroom Kingdom, going to the Mushroom Kingdom, going to... Oh, mushrooms. It looks fun. I think it's fun so far. That's the whole point. Ah, my mushroom! What if I bounce? Oh no, he's bouncing, he's dying. There he goes. Better pick him up. Alright, I got you. Don't worry, buddy. Okay, the camera's being a little funky, but we can fix that later. Okay, you're good. Thank you, buddy. Alright, let's get you back home. Can I wonder if I can pull the cart, get it to go fast, and then I can jump in. There you go. So is it working? And of course, this player too, he's kind of just sitting here, but he can throw a hammer at them. We're gonna work on this hammer. That way we can break stuff with the hammer. Gotta work on throwing. I'll just dunk it. I don't think it really pulls 2 of them because one will slide out. So we'll make another. We have to make another seat. Oh, he tripped. Back to the hammer. Not too many errors. Sometimes this happens when we destroy a crystal. Let's figure that out later. Yeah, this is all WebRTC peer-to-peer. It even works in mobile browsers like web browsers as well as mobile. It's also distributable via .exe or DMG. So just got some basic Mushroom test. Hammer. Got to figure out how to apply these forces so that we want a perpendicular thing, which I believe is a dot. Because I want to apply a force to the top of this thing so that it tilts over. I wonder if I can just add, what if I do this? Add tool. Okay. Now, when we're in this view, can we add like torque to this? What if we go to a new scene? Like a 3D scene. The lab. Let's just call it a lab. Let's say static body 2D or 3D. We will give that a collision shape and a world boundary. Mesh. Any mesh will do. But I believe we want a plane mesh. Just give it to like 1,000. The grid. We could use the grid. There we go. Okay. Now if I drop the hammer in here, can I tell it to like do physics? Pretty sure I can do that. Can you run physics here? At tool, get that. Activating a rigid body. So I have a tool. Set active true. Okay, let's try that. That sounds fun. You know what? I don't think I have to do it here. I think I can do it here at the lab. So this is the lab, and we say physics server set active, right? There we go. It's that simple, right? Then this doesn't have to be tool, I think. It could just be regular. So when I go to the lab, there, did it. And it is going nuts. And then every time I do reload scene, see, I can't lift it up. Let's do a setter. Set run. Run scene equal as a bool, and we'll say false, and then we'll go like this. Set run, and it needs to be. Is it like this? Set equal, right? There we go. And func value, and we say here. It's our little lab. All right. So now we should have the ability to move this. Wrong button. Oh, the hammer's going crazy, buddy. Come on, man. No, my hammer. It's fat. It's false, right? Weird. Why would it not turn off? Good. Oh, here we go. Perfect. Of course it's that. Let's try this again. Hammer. Lab floor. It doesn't work anymore. What did I do wrong? It's so interesting to me. No, you fucking fool. What's wrong with you? Where are you going? Where are you going, buddy? All right, here we go. Here we go. This is what needs to happen, guys. Whenever you ready up, you do need to do this. You need to set false to this, okay? Because otherwise, you get this case. There we go. Now I should be able to... No, everybody... No, everybody's going down. This is really bad. This is the worst case scenario. The lab is a bad place. Okay. Hammer. No, you're still physicking. We need to disable this thing. Okay, we need to quit our project. All of our projects, all of our physics objects have now found the ability to run in the editor. And as you may expect, that is not desirable. Because our hammer, he just said, fuck it, I'm out. Okay. Whew, that was rough. Okay. All you physics objects, you all need to take it easy here. I don't know what I'm gonna do about you guys. Because we'll just try 0 on all of it. I don't know where the stuff is, but these guys, okay, let's make sure we didn't totally bork the... Oh, we might rearrange all that, you know, it's like... Yeah. Yeah, it seems fine. I think it's a little low, but that's okay. I can't believe this stuff works. Sometimes, like, I just look at it and I'm like, wow, I can't believe that worked. But hey, that's what a couple years in the lab will get you. Speaking of lab, we have our ability to make this hammer do some shit. All right, let's test this again. Let's reload the current project one more time. All right, get rid of that, get rid of that. Now, this thing is in the lab. When I turn this on, I expect this hammer to fall over. Okay, I gotta save the scene, I guess. I think I was missing this. This should be automatic right there. But I guess maybe you would want to like decide the. Oh, the tool annotation is missing. There it goes. His velocity is kind of bizarre. We need to remove the linear and the angular velocity from that. Also, mine. This has some linear velocity on it. Get rid of it. Happen to be gravity. This also has some linear velocity on it. Get rid of it. God, Godot is so goddamn good. Like, it showed me that one change. It showed me, you know, like, how on earth did they do this? How did they make this engine so fucking good that I can now have a lab? And when I press this button, everything will run. Fall straight to the ground. That is so cool. Lock that. Alright, so let's adjust our hammer. And in space, what should it do? We can make a pin joint. Little box. I don't really know how a pin joint works, but it's cool. So now we have a box. Make a little mesh there. Just give it like red. That's fine. Now assign node A to the box and node B to the hammer. Okay. We can bring this box up here. Now what this will do is we'll mimic how our player works. The box is a player. Now when I press this, it should swing. Okay. Kind of got it working. So what's happened when we adjust this pin joint? Is it nothing? This can be at 0, 0? Seems to be. Not really. Oh. It just turned the physics off, right? No, the physics are still on. Reload scene. think when the physics started, the pin joint was right around here. All right, we're getting there. We're learning. Pin joint. It's pretty cool. I'll be right back. No. God damn it, lab. It's a very dangerous lab. I'm very tired, guys. I think I'm gonna wrap it up soon. It's gotta be X. Yeah, we need X. I want to lock I. This thing's moving. Don't use the lab, everybody. Don't do what I did. God, it's so easy and it's just so hard for me because it's something that, you know. Oh, let's turn on collision shapes. That could help us. I don't feel well, so I'm probably just gonna call it Maybe I put my editor over here and I fuck around with it in the editor. I guess I can drag this over here. What kind of process can I add to this thing? Oh, I need the difference between my rotation. Apply. It's like I need A to B where pickup component is. I need to do this sort of thing. Um. Oh, this needs to go. Set angular. Set angular. Set. Let's do this. We need to reach an equilibrium. Oh, I think I need like a global basis. fuck no. I've got this thing just dancing, man. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no clue what I'm doing. I have a hammer. I created a physics lab in which I could like mess with the hammer's velocity and force and location. And I created this little lab, and it's really funny because now I've got the ability to look at this and okay, I'm like, all right, I'll reason this out. And so when I turn on physics here, okay, great. This thing kind of just, it's able to do physics in the editor, so now I can just like manipulate it and say, oh yeah, I expect it to do that. And then I was locking different axes, like so these axes here, I can turn that off, and then it should fall over. Okay, great, it's fallen over. So I made a lab, and I've enjoyed playing with that. And the one thing that did kind of work is when I put it in this position and I did a pin joint, and then I pinned my hammer to a joint with I guess I'll do cube, and then we'll do hammer as B. And now I'll move that into position, like, I guess here. And then now if I reload save scene and, make sure he's okay. He's got, I don't know, we'll take the velocity off. Turn the lab on so it kind of swings a little. And now, theoretically, I should be able to, like, apply some constant force. Like, what if I apply negative Z? Would that go all the way out, like where I want it? Like like 70, 100, let's do 1,000. But now it's got this equilibrium issue, right? And we can do a damp. Dampen it. And so now if I artificially, I can't turn it. But let's say if I move my cube, it's kind of doing stuff. It's not really revolving around there. So I would need to adjust the Z force to be my facing dir. So maybe we can do that. We can do weapon hammered at constant. I don't know what I'm doing, man. Because the pin joint, I can't use it. I've got a pin joint. I can use a pin joint. And the force that I'm throwing on this is a fuck ton of Z. So I could just forward the forward direction of my player, the looking direction, on the basis Z. Okay, so that, oh god, no, my hammer! Ah, he's gone! No! Remember to turn your lab off before you go over to your hammer, okay? Just a quick tip. We can get him back, hold on. And we need to reset his linear velocity or else he'll take off again. Yeah, because that, I mean, how fucking cool is that? Like, how cool is Godot? Like, that was just super cool that you can turn the physics server on. So the lab script is a tool, so it can run in here. And then we have this setter, run scene, and on ready, it needed to set it to false. And then when we set this to true using the toggle over here, it'll go through this value, run scene is true, set physics true, physics process true, and then you untoggle it, and it just reverses all that. But you have to have this off because physics server is on for the whole editor in that case. So I turn the physics server before I come over here, or else my rigid bodies will just fall into the nothingness forever. So, life finds a way. Okay, so So here we are. Let's make sure this experiment still works here. We're just doing a shit ton of Z, like so much Z that you can't even see. And the problem with that is that if they let go of the hammer, it will take off, right? The pin joint is keeping it there. Okay, not that much Z. Let's do some damp. That seems like an extreme way to do this. Oh shit, the hammer. Excuse me, hammer, don't run away. Okay. Oh god, what am I doing now? Let's try this. This is not gonna work. Because we need to take this forward or and set linear velocity lerp here, and then we have to go because it's not just going to be Z, it's going to be X and Y as well. So this lerp goes pick up parent body, this tracked velocity, that A plus B times 10. What we need to do here is var hammer equal the interact transforce basis the forwarder times 1,000. And just in that one, I think this is just gonna make it go flying because it's not pinned. There it goes. It's out of there. I can't use a pin joint because I'm doing this like pin joint, hacky pin joint thing here because I don't want to like manage setting and unsetting pin joints. Because that's not how my grab system works. It works by doing this lerp. But should I like use a bunch more pin joints? Like, oh, this is bad. Like, what if my entire pickup system, instead of applying velocity in the location that the player is grabbing it, what if it was just a series of pin joints? Theoretically, I don't know. All right, I must give up. So it can't be outside of this forest. It has to be outside of this forest because I'm setting linear velocity here. And that's just going to keep resetting the hammer velocity over and over. Set. So even if I apply a force, I think it'll set it wrongly. Because I need to really do something called integrate forces. So integrate forces. I need to actually use a custom integrator. Which is miserable. I don't want to do this central force. And we will be giving up because this is too hard and we don't want to switch over to using pin joints. But having an object that is moving around and doing the thing and then having it tip forward and spin around our center point. Yeah, we kind of like drew it here. Like if we're in this center point, we could almost have like a radian limiter. We could like get this point and this point. And we could draw a circle around us. And we could get some sort of dot product this way from how tall I am. Because now there's a triangle there, right? Maybe I could also just... The object, unfortunately, it starts in an orientation like this. I'm glad I'm doing this as a hammer so we can, you know, a sword would be a little harder to visualize. But we have this hammer. And now it starts in this orientation where using Godot's thing, we're pointing negative z and or you know, we're pointing y up. So the first thing you have to do is just turn this thing sideways. So when I would think about if I have my point of activation here, and I can test this in the editor. My theory here, using the little thing in the top left, the gizmo in the top left, is that if I have this, I would apply a force with this x, negative x, I think we determined was the rotation we should apply. So I'll take this rotation thing down. Okay, it did nothing because I wasn't stuck right. So negative x rotation. Now it's laying down. That's good. So the step one is to lay it down. And now, if I tilt my head, the force I am trying to do is Z. I'm trying to Z and X. Now I'm trying to spin it around like this. Oh, that's kind of cool. How does that work? Y. Could I just set Y? Can you lock these and then still spin this? That could work. Hold on a sec. If I just save that, run it. I've locked them. They can never move. So now I need to unlock my X. Turn it sideways. Because the problem is it's a physics object. It's not obeying the editor. So it's like subject to all these. Oh shit, this is good. Never. No, I think I'm not going to solve it today. I'm just going to keep... So... Okay, so now... I need to reset the whole experiment here. Okay, now the only axis it can spin on is X. So I will pick it up. Now I am going to tell it to rotate. It's slowly leveling out from gravity. That's perfect. We can assist that. Okay. Now what I want to do, all I've got to do is just apply outward force. It's like gotta be like this. Where once it's now tilted sideways, which it is, I want to apply a big force of Z. So there now, because yeah, the Z and X, and that is my facing dir. And how to use that is the hard part. But can I just do this? Pick up, period. Because I'm worried that this set linear velocity is overriding all of my apply. This is a rigid body force, central force. It should be physics body. To really change this to a apply central force. I don't think this will work, but I have the forward direction, my facing dir here. I've locked the... I know, you're upset with me now. Fuck, this is hard. I feel like I got some of the concepts here and some of the goals, but the problem is I have this old system that is applying linear velocity in a lerp formation of A to B, where A is where I am and B where I want to go. And I go B minus A times 10. So I track, like, yeah. And then, so this doesn't actually do anything. Now, if I pick this thing up, it should just go flying straight ahead. Yeah, it's going straight ahead. Now, here, there you go. You know. But it also needs rotation force, too, like, X. It needs to apply this as X, forward direction as... circular. It's like centrifugal. It's so confusing to me more, but I'm just like cold as fuck here. Because, let's see, my lab again is not real. Yeah, the pin joint is not accurate. But yeah, when I'm rotating it here, and I say rotate down, that happens with gravity, which is just nice. But I'd like to just set rotation on this thing, maybe I can, what I can do is I could have the pickup here, but then I can have like a little mini hammer inside here that I'm like actually like a nested one, like sort of like a pivot node. It doesn't work. So then that needs to be this. I'm doing the whole thing, but like I could have a node inside of a node. Sup, my guy. Punto. We're trying to figure out some physics stuff. We've got this hammer we need to lay flat and spin in a circle, which is like 2 different axes, and like it just melts my mind because I'm not good at dot products and all this. So I want this to lay down, and then I want to be able to spin it on my Z? Yeah, Z axis. Or is it just Z? But the direction will be determined by my facing direction, which could be Z and X, but that's just a degrees here. So could I get like a direction 2? So I'm missing. I've also got this like little physics lab where I've got a hammer, and then I'm applying a constant force here. But if I let that go, it swings around. It's like, and make sure you turn off your physics, because I've got this thing running the physics server in the editor. So if I go to another scene, everything will fall through the world. So I gotta turn that off. Then this doesn't fall through the world. Yeah, math is really hard, and I don't have any math background. So like, this is all just like literally brain melting. So I'm gonna have to take a break soon and come back to this really tough problem. So I don't think this is something I'm gonna be capable of figuring out, because I need to apply like the spinning. But the best thing to do would be to apply an outward force from where I am. But I think also just rotating the object itself would be good. I don't know. I just don't know here. Let's see what it looks like without any like big changes though. There's my hammer. I'll pick it up. It just doesn't do anything. Because I have a supply set linear velocity, it feels like really bad. I think I have to fix this. Did you make the art? I didn't really make the art. I kind of just picked it out of the air. It's all kind of bad, but I'll give a little demo before I head out for the day. So let's give a little short one. Okay, we have 2 players here. They're signing up to play with each other. They're going to WebRTC in this lobby, do a P2P connection. You see all the payloads coming in. We're going to join that lobby. We've got 2 players, purple and red, and all their information is here. Now they're going to swap and create a session. There's the bearer tokens, the ICE address, and the network has established. So these 2 players can do stuff in this world, and the hammer is not doing what we want to do, but we'll deal with it later. We can take this cart and we can drag it around. Oh my gosh, my hammer stayed there because I think it locked it on linear. But this player can toss a mushroom into there. Oh, he missed. What a dumbass. Then I can get this cart thing, and I can get another cart. I can jump onto this cart. Oh, there's a little crash there, but we still got our carts. So we're gonna pull our carts around. And now we got this crystals that we can load in here. This is cool. Thank you. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. So we're going to wrap up soon, but you can always follow and turn on notifications and come back and ask some questions. Are most co-op games WebRTC to save server or P2P? Yeah, so I am doing that to save server costs. I wouldn't say this is a very common path that people take, because it's not easy to get all that set up. It took me like 3 months, you know, just to get those working. But once you got it working, you get some really fun, like, emergent gameplay. And I mean, all this could be done with a server that isn't WebRTC, but I've done it that way to save costs, because I was paying $5 a month on AWS, and I was so tired of that. Do you like the game Brothers game? I've never seen this. That's cool. It's a long time ago. Pretty cool. Is it co-op? One evening, huh? You do have to control 2 characters at the same time. That's cool. Yeah, no, I mean, it's couch co-op. Or you have to play both at the same time as single player. Like, it's kind of neat. It's real, looks kind of charming. I like it. See what it says on here. It says single player only. I mean, yeah, that's how I test these games, right? Is I just swap between really fast. So yeah, in that regard, yeah, I am both brothers. So it doesn't say couch co-op, but I bet maybe it you know it better than Steam does, perhaps. But oh, there it is. Co-op play and single player. Okay, so maybe I don't know. I think it might just be a single player game. Did you actually do the couch co-op? Because it might not be built in. Usually console release would be, yeah. Maybe it's single player on Steam. That's neat. And you have 2 controllers plugged in? When can you play my game? Well, the unfortunate thing about building a game is it takes a long time, and my game is just a collection of mechanics. It's not an actual game. So, yeah, you guys can come and play this. And you can definitely play it. But right now, there's no objectives. There's no enemies. There's no goals. You've got, like, when you start off, you've got this, like, wall here. So you've got to take these carts forward through this, like, mushroom forest you can kind of see along this river. But I haven't added many obstacles, just a few things to collect, like... I gotta make challenges, so I'm not sure what challenges to make. Maybe physics-based challenges. Thanks. Subscribe and continue to watch. Very cute and fun. Link reminds me of Outward. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of got a little bit of a retro feel for sure. And we're in this cavern. There's still a good light source because no one likes to play a dark game that's super dark. So even though we're in a cavern, it's you know. Uh-oh, we got a little geometry. These levels are not filed. Ah, I escaped. Okay, I'm okay. I'm back. I did create a little thing that resets you if you get out of bounds. Okay, we fell to our death. Our brother must go on. Put this in here. We'll figure it out. Keep coming back, and then yeah, I'm gonna be calling it here. I'll be streaming most days over the break, the Christmas break here. Thanks for everyone asking questions, and yeah, we'll get it done. Thanks, guys. Later.